Sure. What a sobering story indeed. Well, let's take you back to one of the other big stories we're watching for you today. Finance ministers and central bank governors from the G20 top economies gathering at the Cape Town International Convention Centre today under South Africa's presidency. Now, President Cyril Ramaphosa opened the meeting earlier this morning, highlighting that if Africa grows, so does the world. This meeting is preceded by that of deputy ministers and deputy central bank governors, which started on Monday. Watching all of this is SABC News reporter Lulama Matya, who joins us now live from Cape Town. A number of meetings we're anticipating, Lulama, in the lead up to the summit in November. Perhaps a quick recap of the president's opening address?
Welcome to Cape Town, Ayanda and SABC viewers. The president opened the first meeting of finance ministers and central bank governors of the G20 countries by talking about 5 priorities that South Africa's presidency of the G20 is going to focus on. One of those is about disasters, debt sustainability. And this morning, I am joined by Abert Muchanga. He is the AU G20 Sherpa. Welcome to the SABC, sir.
Thank you very much.
From the AU, what is the message that the AU is bringing to this meeting?
First and foremost, the G20 is the premier forum for international economic cooperation. The president, in his opening remarks, reminded us that. So, based on that, it means that our message to the G20 is that we need to act with the resolve and urgency to meet the global challenges of climate change, external debt problems, poverty, global tensions, fragmentation of international trade, and misinformation, among others. If we do that, then we can make a better world for all of us, which is stable, which is peaceful, and which is growing, and ensuring that that growth goes to the rest of the population around the world.
The question of debt. This meeting is going to talk about debt among developing economies. How concerned is the AU about that?
We are very, very much concerned. And based on that, we were able to have 3 countries. Of course, they worked on their own, but we fully supported them undergo debt restructuring. The first one was Zambia, Ghana, and Ethiopia followed. Then we also have about 21 African economies which are under threats of debt default. So it's a huge, huge problem. And as we go towards restructuring, we have also come up with an African financial stability mechanism with the support of the African Development Bank to assist African countries to restructure their debts at a lower cost. But over and above that, we are encouraging African member states to really move towards long-term debt, which takes time to repay, and also use the debt to invest so that the investments can generate resources which will make them be able to pay on time and in full when the debts are due. Short-term debt, which is from the bond markets, it can easily be gotten, but it has repercussions of being unable to make payments and retainments when they are due. So we need long-term debt. And over and above that, we have been advocating through the International Development Association of the World Bank and the African Development Bank, Development Fund of the African Development Bank, to have concessional financing for these entities so that poorer economies from Africa can be able to get concessional funding to ensure that the financing of development does not create unsustainable debt problems.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
That was the AU G20 Sherpa, Abert Muchanga.